Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the biggest mistakes that new players may make in the game. There's still a lot of new players coming to the game, and you know, we do have beginners guides out, like, you know, tips for progress, all that sort of thing. But some people take learning from mistakes to understand what to do, so going to bring the mistakes to a video, so hopefully that newer players don't have to make them. So let's get into it. Now, there are some basic things to remember, like don't forget to log in, don't forget to do your quests, don't forget to do your peaks of times when they come, but those are the very basic things. In this video, we're going to be covering the top 3 things that like early beginners and even sort of like later sort of stage players may make, and one of them is so relevant with what's going on in the game at the moment. I feel like there may be a fair few people that have got burnt from it, so let's get into it. Now, the first one that I think brand new players make the most is with your heroes, and that is leveling up too many heroes. Now, we do have the Resonating Crystal, which means if you have 5 heroes leveled up, the lowest level one of those 5 is going to be the level that everyone in your Resonating Crystal gets. So as you can see, 180 is the lowest level hero I have in the top, and you don't have to place them here, they just go there when they're leveled, and that means everyone down here gets boosted up to 180. Now, I've seen multiple people do this where they have like 7 characters with levels in them. Reset it, just make your top 5, and it's not the top 5 heroes that you use. It's going to end up being your top 5 ascended heroes, because they have higher level caps, and that means that you're going to be able to raise the level cap of heroes higher than what they are. So by that I mean, with being mythic, he's going to have a higher level cap than these. Obviously Brutus at legendary, but Brutus at legendary can level past his legendary level cap in the Resonating Crystal. So he would normally be stuck at, I think, 140, but because he's in the Resonating Crystal, he can go to 180. So even if he was my main hero that I use, I still wouldn't have him as one of my leveled heroes, because his potential levels are less. That is the most important one. If you have 7, 8, 9, 10 heroes with levels in them, go to the rickety cart down here, reset them, and basically just level your top 5. That's all you have to do. Do not level too many heroes. It's like, I cannot emphasize this one enough. I remember seeing one of my mates' accounts and having a look through it. I'm like, dude, we got to fix this. So most important tip right there. Also, if you're going to put something into the Resonating Crystal when you're changing this around, reset them before you put them in the crystal. That's the other tip. The next one we're going to look at is in relation to the labyrinth. Now, there's a lot of things. The labyrinth is actually a bit more in depth than you think, but the labyrinth is, do not go for these carts. If you desperately need a healer or something early game, which early game it's really easy, just avoid these carts and avoid any of these fountains in the middle, any of the traders, because the traders are just not that good of value. Avoid them, because you want to be going the path of the most enemies, and don't worry if they are brown enemies or red enemies. It does not matter. The color of the enemy, the banner, only affects the loot that you do get. So the relics are going to be better from red guys, which is going to help you in that labyrinth run. But if you're cruising through the labyrinth run anyway, where only 5 hours left, I really need to do this labyrinth run. If you're cruising through defeating enemies anyway, just go the path of the most enemies, because when you defeat these enemies, you're going to be getting labyrinth coins, you're going to be getting gold, and really important early game, you're getting that experience. Gold and experience are so important early game. People always ask me, how do I have so many labyrinth coins? It's literally, I just take the path of the most enemies, so I maximize how many coins I'm getting. Also, later on, I do move into doing hard mode on the final one, and if you can defeat Riz there, you do have a chance at getting bonus labyrinth coins from that. But definitely just avoid trying to do that sort of stuff. And then the other one is in the store. As you can see, avoid doing this. Avoid doing what I am doing, because I'm at the changing point in the store. So what I've done is, I was building Chimera, now I'm building Kassos. I had enough points So then I did swap over to the Khasos to purchase. But when you're originally going through it, my most recommended hero is still Chimera to purchase, but whichever one you do decide to purchase, I'd keep purchasing the same one so that you can keep ascending them. Chimera and Khasos are both good options, but Chimera is definitely the one I would still go for as a fresh player. But hey, you end up doing what you choose and what you enjoy, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose in that sense if you're just playing for fun. But I'd recommend always buying the same hero, just waiting for the reset and buying them again, because they are basically going to help you out by getting them to higher ascension tiers. Like I said, getting your resonating crystal up and all that sort of stuff. So definitely something to consider. The other thing is, if you're lazy and you haven't bought them, just do not let your labyrinth coins stack up to 100,000. I let it do it once and then I stopped gaining them. So basically, if you get to 100,000 and you keep progressing, you just don't get labyrinth coins. So definitely do not let it stack up to 100,000. Spend them before then on a hero, which I'm sure 99.9% of people will not have an issue with doing. So that is the labyrinth do nots in that one. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the one that is completely relevant at the moment with, like, in all these sorts of games, basically any hero collector game, anything like that, I like to keep one copy of each hero. In this game, if we go to the legendary tier heroes, so these guys here, the guys you summon as blue heroes, you can feed them. Don't stress about these guys at all. But for these ascended tier heroes up the top here, I never get rid of them. In any hero collector, I never do it because they're basically just too valuable. They're just, you don't want to risk what has happened in the game at the moment and risk feeding one of these guys to upgrade another hero, and then for them to get a buff. For example, Screg. This guy was basically the joke of everyone's hero list. He was hopeless. But in the last update, which hasn't actually hit the servers yet, he is getting a big buff. He's become sort of viable, in my opinion. He's still not the best hero, but you never know what they're going to change in the game. So a lot of comments that I see in my videos are people asking, should I feed a Screg to upgrade my Brutus? Something like that, you get a Brutus, you think, maybe I want to upgrade my Sophia. I'll just feed my 2 Elite plus Scregs. Or, my Screg and my Warwick. This is the worst idea in my opinion. I always try to encourage people to keep at least one copy of each of these guys. Sorry, not even at least one. Keep all your copies of these guys. I'm thinking about other games now. Keep all your copies because these guys are so valuable because they are the end game heroes. What you're sacrificing by feeding these guys, what you're gaining is a little bit of time because you don't have to summon the other lower tier heroes as fodder, but what you're losing by doing that is a potential amazing unit later game when they do balance changes and adjust the skills and make something way stronger than what it was. So I cannot express this point enough, how important I feel it is to actually keep all of your ascended tier heroes and never feed one of them. They're just so valuable, and I try and say it like this because it's a fear of mine feeding these guys, and I know some people don't care, and if you just genuinely don't care, you play for characters on their looks, whatever, it's completely up to you. But from a playing it safe for later game play, I definitely think it's worth it because you're eventually going to summon those fodder heroes anyway that you can feed. So please do not do that. It would just absolutely be devastating. Same thing when you're going from, if you have I don't know if I have any here. Yes, if you have like a mythic and you're going to mythic plus, do not do something like this. This is just, it's an absolute pet hate of mine, even though I know some people just don't care, and that's fine. Play the game how you want to, but it's very scary to me. So that is the Temple of Ascension. One other thing I wanted to touch on quickly, which I hadn't thought about going into this video, but I did just consider it then, is the store and that is the diamonds. Obviously, you want to be purchasing this dust every day for gold. Also, I've started purchasing these because I find them useful. I'm not sure if they're the best value, don't go judge me on that. I've also started buying these because I find them to be really good value. But don't be wasting your resources. So, for instance, I wouldn't be buying something like this. It just doesn't seem worth it for me. For gear, a lot of people ask for gear. If they're at that stage where you have 0 mythic gear has just started coming into the shop here, and you have a main damage dealer, I'd consider buying a weapon for that damage dealer. I did it on this account. At that stage, my main damage dealer was Savius. I bought a mythic spear for him, and it really did help my progression. So that is something you can do, but besides that, don't be just buying every mythic piece of gear for diamonds, especially if you're free to play or low spending. The other one is the guild store. Do not buy anything from the guild store, in my opinion, until it's mythic. It's just, I just feel like it's a waste. When you look at that, the legendary plus is almost 20,000 compared to 32,000. I'd hate for the difference in the quality of the gear. You'd hate to waste those diamonds on getting the legendary plus gear and then go, oh, I can't afford my mythic gear. So that is definitely something to consider. This refreshes every day, so eventually you're going to hit a piece of mythic gear you want, and that's what I target. And I always target it on my main hero. So on this account, I targeted Shamira first, got her on full mythic, and then basically after that, I just started picking up pieces for sets. As you can see, I also got a lot of AFK cloth gear, so I'm loaded on cloth gear on this account, and the majority of my heroes are cloth. But this one I focused leather first, then I focused cloth, because at the start it was my Savius who was my main hero. But once you get that main hero sorted, then just sort of spread out your pieces around your other core heroes. Once I do my DPS hero, I normally look at my tank, and my tank, I'm not too stressed about the weapon. I look more at the armor slots, especially the boots. The boots seem really good with the HP they give. But yeah, you look at that. So definitely start at your main damage dealer for me, especially the weapon there. Then if your tank's a bit squishy, maybe you buy a bit of plate gear, the plate boots next to help survive, so that your DPS can survive longer and actually get it out. But definitely don't waste your resources in the shop is the big one for me. So I think that is all the big mistakes that I can think of that people make and waste resources, time, and characters. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.